Awesome. Jacqui, thank you again so much for joining me in this Skype call and for actually, I guess, meeting me officially. So super excited. So I'm glad to have you here and yeah, thank you for joining the call.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So today it's super basic, really. Again, all we're really going to dive into is kind of what got you into real estate, how your journey was, how we came into contact. I guess what that interaction looked like, and a little bit of details on the novation that we did and how that experience was for you.
Okay, so my journey with real estate investment probably started about a year ago, year and a half. Um, I was just browsing some things and trying to find other ways to find resourceful income to come in alongside of my um, 9 or 8 to 5. And so I really started on a couple of courses from different people. Um, and so as I was learning, I really wanted to get into it. Couldn't find anybody that could really assist without wanting so much of your money that you didn't have, or and kind of got a little discouraged, put it down for a little while, then picked it up. In the process of it, came across a few family members or friends that had property they wanted to get, sell, and um, trying to find, they were asking questions because they knew I was part of it, of how they could do it, and really not having all the knowledge of how to do it. One day I was just seeking out to find someone that would help without. Well, let me back up. I came across a few deals, reached out for some help, got burned on a couple of them, and put it down, and then had an emergency arise where they really wanted to get rid of their property. So I was browsing around, saw you on Facebook too, and you gave basically a little blurb of who you were, what you were getting into, how you saw yourself helping newcomers. And so I just reached out and you responded, and I told you a little knowledge that I knew about wholesaling and real estate investing, and um, listened to what you had to offer. And then we built our rapport from there. And so now we're here. Did you want something else?
I just realized I was muted. Yeah, I was asking if you could provide a little more like details on the deal that we did for the Waxahachie property, kind of
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that played out and your experience with that.
So, as I stated earlier, I had a cousin that reached out. She knew I was, again, into the investment piece. And so she had her father actually, Pat, was on his deathbed, needed to sell his property. Again, that's what I said. I reached out, found you. Um, you gave me your background and walk me through the process of it all, far as doing a joint venture together and how it would work. And in the middle of the process, you also gave me additional tools that I needed, far as knowing how to comp property, um, a little bit of the process, far as once you find the uh, I almost said it. The one, I don't know why I can't think of the office. Um, Title company, there it is. Once you find title company, how the process works, even gave information on marketing, how to really find out if a deal is really a deal. and knowing the ins and outs of uh, what investors consider, good deals and those type of things. So you educated me on that. It was a real good walk along with you experience. Um, I can't say I'm just the most knowledgeable, but the information you did give or provided did tweak my interest more on wanting to go through the whole process and possibly doing one deal on my own. But still learning the ins and outs of different ways to invest besides wholesaling. I believe you've given that. That was a good experience too. And then, like I said, it was a side by side. I wasn't left out on what was going on, where we were, um, and those type of things. So, personally, I feel like it was a good experience for me.
Awesome. I love that. That's super exciting. And
Hmm.
that deal particularly, which was so unique, and it actually really took me by surprise,
Yeah.
overall, because it was just real
Hmm.
tough. Like Waxahachie is such a great area, but that just like where it was in
Yeah.
Waxahachie, being across the street from the warehouse, right next to the railroad track with the self storage facility right next to that, on a
Yeah.
day, like it that's like the predicament of what an investor doesn't want to pick up. And it just really blew my mind as we were able to get offers in and where we were able to get them at, and actually end up closing on the property. So it's just a big shock, big surprise to me because there was no comp data in the past 500 days. And so I remember when we had initially talked about it, that was one of the things that I brought up to you was like, hey, I'm not expecting this to close. Like, and so with it had like it just blew my mind. It was such an awesome
Yeah.
experience.
Hmm.
I love it because throughout the entire thing, you and I had really good effective communication. We built up a good amount, like tremendous amount of rapport in the process. I had the opportunity to meet your cousin at the property as well, along with our VP of dispositions, Ronnie, and they were just sweet as can be. And
Yeah.
being in that position to not only help you and serve you, but also help you help them was really, really remarkable as well. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that you had a really good interaction with us. I'm glad that you had a really good experience and that we were able to kind of hold your hand and walk you through the process. Uh,
Hmm.
and now we potentially may have another one coming up. So
Yeah.
that's super exciting as well.
Yeah.
Super.
The good thing out of this one is that novation, I really didn't um, know that that was an option as well. So being a part of this again is just almost like you're growing and learning so much about the industry without just finding other ways to service people without it just being so rigid. And so it's a good learning experience for me as well. But to be honest, I really like the joint venture. For me, I like the joint venture way because you're teaming up with experts who already know the ropes, and not just trying to do wing it on your own and trying to. I mean, if you're, it depends on what you're investing for anyway. I think it's a learning process, but also growing your knowledge of how to get into other pools of resources to help you be successful in what you're doing.
I love that. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
What would you, with that, what would you recommend anybody that's just getting into the industry to do right off the bat? Is that, I guess, the same route that you took, kind of the route that you would recommend?
I would definitely recommend walking alongside someone that already has the experience, but being sure you also vet that person to where you don't leave burn or it gives you a bad taste in your mouth, because there are a bunch of people out there that claim to be gurus who are just really taking your money, making money off of your lack of knowledge from their wealth of knowledge, and they're only just giving you a little bit and then telling you to go figure it out for yourself. I think you have to vet your mentors, making sure you don't get burned and that you're along with them, you're learning as well. Does that make sense?
100%. And so earlier on, you had mentioned that you had tried to work with a few other people and that you kind of got burned. I guess what was the big difference between those individuals when you sat down, you talked to them, and you tried working it out with them? What was the big difference between them and I guess myself?
The biggest difference was with them. I just felt like they were just trying to get in on it, just to get the biggest portion of your sale. They really weren't uh, providing um, knowledge. A little bit of knowledge they give you, but not knowledge in opening you up to their title people, or you know what I'm saying, where they're reaching out and saying, hey, if you have another deal, it was almost as if they were trying to keep all that to themselves, but just benefit from what you were bringing to them.
Mhm.
To where in yours, you have the option, although it's a joint venture, but you're walking alongside and you're also gaining tools to help you learn about the next venture that may come along your way and how to handle it. Even if you do it on your own, you still walk away with some tools and knowledge of how to do that.
Love it, love it. And was there like a big difference in, I guess, overall character between them and kind of how I guess operate?
Definitely. Mhm. Again, it wasn't like coming across as just deal hungry, but really coming across as, hey, I'm here to help you learn.
Awesome. I love that. I love that a lot. Okay. And I guess what what big piece overall, looking at all this and your experience and how this all played out, what would be the biggest piece of advice that you would give, whether it's a newer, yeah, really, I guess anybody just getting into the industry or a new wholesaler that's been kind of struggling to do some deals, what would be the biggest piece of advice you would provide them?
Consistency is key.
Mm.
You got to keep at it. It is very discouraging once you land that first deal. You really then can take 3 steps back and say, is this really what I want to do? Even though it's something you've been like trying to achieve. However, you got to know, is this something I want to continue and build up on, or you can just do it once and that's it. But consistency, you got to be consistent with it to really get the the outcomes in which you desire. So personally, real estate investment is really anyone can get in it, but you got to make sure that you're in it for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you will get discouraged and never want. If you're in it just for a quick fix.
Hmm. Okay. No, that makes sense, and I love that. And last question I've got for you, Jackie, is would you say like the relationships that we've been able to build up, is that more, would you say it's been transactional or has it been like an actual legitimate solid like friendship?
It's solid friendship. It hasn't been transactional at all. At all. Even when I don't have a deal or things to bring to the table, I think from based on what you've shown me that I could just call you and ask some questions, whether we're in a deal together or not.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Uh, well, Jackie, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to hop on the call with
Mm.
me, and kind of just share your experience and share, what you've gone through and a little bit about your background and kind of where you're going now. Um, and that's pretty much all the questions I've got for you, really. Super big,
All
not too crazy. Uh,
right.
but yeah, again, I'm really looking forward to doing future ventures with you and also helping you grow in this industry as well. And you really hit the nail at any time you've got questions. Don't ever hesitate to, shoot me a text, give me a call. I am hard to get on the phone, but I do. is. Um, so anytime you've got a question, like don't ever hesitate to reach out.
I won't, and I appreciate the fact that you are available, even though when you don't call back right away, if it's even if it's a day or two later, I can count on the fact that you will return a call or, just to see what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Well, awesome. All right. Well, all right, Jacqui, I'm gonna go back to doing boring things.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, Jacqui.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye bye.